Hey there, Mr. Reddit here. Welcome back to another episode of r/entitled Parent Stories. Our first story we'll be reading today. Karen stole my dog, so I sued her. After that, no lady, you don't get more toilet paper than everyone else. And after that, how I got our workshop repaired and revenge on my manager. Now for every thumbs up this video gets, one Karen gets sued. Who'd wanna sue me? Not like we've got any money in the first place, Reddit boy. So please smash that like button and subscribe and turn on notifications for new stories from Reddit every single day. Karen stole my dog, so I sued her. My dog, Maximo, is a rescue dog. He has a lot of aggression problems. As a result, his vet recommends training him with a muzzle. The muzzle that my dog wears is totally comfortable for him. It doesn't hurt him or anything. So far, we've had very good results. I take my dog to a dog park every Monday along with my 11-year-old daughter. I took my dog to the dog park like I normally do. He was wearing the muzzle. I keep an eye on him, checking for signs of trouble. Suddenly, I hear a girl cry, and my daughter is out of my field of vision, so I get worried. I tie Maximo up in an area specifically designated for that purpose, and I move no more than 15 meters away from him to search for my daughter. I find her. It was not her who was crying, and when I return for Maximo, I see this girl running towards him. She takes him in her arms and runs back to her car. Max is visibly stressed, but because of the muscle, he can't do anything. The park was almost empty, so there was no one around her to stop her, and I couldn't reach her, but I took a picture of her from her license plate. I went to the police station, and there they identified the owner of that car and sent a patrol to look for my dog. A day later, the police returned with the girl and Maximo, who was in a deplorable state, very nervous and anxious. There, the girl explains to me that she took Maximo because she thought I was mistreating him, and that she watches every Monday how he uses a muzzle against his will. Regardless of her reasoning, no matter how noble she is, I decided that I would sue her anyway. The stress I felt, along with the state Maximo returned in, is reason enough to sue her. My sister has another opinion. She says that I'm being a horrible person for suing someone that thought she was doing the right thing, and that the girl took a risk to save a dog that she believed was being mistreated, and that's admirable. Some of my friends agree with her. I still want to sue her, but I would like other perspectives to see if I am in the wrong. No lady, you don't get more toilet paper than everyone else. So this is a story from the time in which everyone bought up horrendous amounts of toilet paper for no reason during the lockdown. At one point, I had worked at the store I was shopping in, but at this point I was not working there, and it had been over 2 years since I had worked there. So I had to get to the store extremely early and stand in line for 2 hours before they opened to get 1 pack of toilet paper. And the lucky ones of us that actually ran to the toilet paper aisle were the ones that got the big packs, because the store only lets you have 1 pack. It doesn't matter if it was 4 rolls or 16 rolls, you only got 1 pack. So I was fortunate enough to get one of the larger packs of toilet paper. I actually did need toilet paper. It was my mother's regular shopping day, so I actually grabbed 2 packs to put in the cart. I did not live with my parents at this time, so I was walking around with the 2 packs, and they wouldn't take one of them away from you until you got to the checkout, so you could walk around the store with multiple packs in your cart, but it wasn't until you got to the register that they took the rest out. I called my mother to see if she needed toilet paper, because if she did, this was her typical shopping day, I was going to do the rest of my shopping and wait on her, then hand it off to her, because by the time she got there wouldn't be any left. She told me that she had enough toilet paper and she didn't need any, so by this time the shelves were pretty bare. All that was left was basically paper towels. I heard an elderly woman on the phone sounding like she was about to cry. I even got here early, but then everybody ran. When I got to the toilet paper, there wasn't any left. I've not had toilet paper for 2 days. This is the 3rd store I've gone to this week. This is just horrible. So of course, I, not needing the toilet paper in my cart anymore, and hearing this lady who looks to be about 70 about to cry on the phone because she couldn't run fast enough to get toilet paper, which is absolutely horrible. Elderly people shouldn't have to outrun other people to get toilet paper. I go up to her and ask her if she was looking for any specific brand or anything, and she tells me she doesn't care what brand it is, she just needs toilet paper. So I take the other one out of my cart and I give it to her. She seems so happy, but then seems sad, saying that she doesn't want to take it from someone else. I explained to her about my mother and why I had the 2nd pack, and how people were only allowed to buy 1 pack anyway. She was extremely happy and basically said that I must have been sent from God to bless her and all of that. But here comes the moment you've all been waiting for. After the sweet elderly lady walks off to either shop or go check out, I don't know which, but she was out of the area when this happened. A woman comes walking up to my cart and starts to take the toilet paper out of it. Me. Hey, what the heck do you think you're doing? Karen. Getting my toilet paper. Me. That ain't your toilet paper, that's mine. Get your hands out of my cart. Karen. No, this isn't. You're handing out toilet paper. Me. No, I'm not. You just gave some to that lady over there. I had extra because you work here and you're handing it out. Stop denying me my toilet paper. Me. Lady, I ain't worked here in 2 years. You can just go buzz off. I start to walk away with my cart and my toilet paper. Karen. You stupid little jerk. She comes walking up behind me and tries to rip it out of my cart. I swing my cart from under her and she falls down. I'm going to have you charged with assault. Me. Good luck. This place is covered in cameras and I wasn't the one that jumped on your cart. So have fun. I proceeded to go check out and happened to see the elderly lady checking out with her toilet paper and her other groceries. I don't even know whatever happened to that lady, but I'm glad I never saw her again. I hope she never found the toilet paper. I hope she had to use paper towels. How I got our workshop repaired and revenge on my manager. So I know what people are going to say. If it was dangerous, why not just report it to health and safety? And my answer to that is that I am as thick as mints. Plus, I've seen how they butchered the workshop of another department, putting insane safety measures in place that do little to actually protect people and mostly just get in the way. The safety person is only technically qualified, meaning they're office workers that went on a course about it once. Go figure. So the situation was, I was working in a machining workshop, mill, lathe, surface grinder, etc. And it's old and worn out. Everything needs maintenance, but either management don't give us the time, it needs new parts that management won't buy, or it needs a proper service from a professional that management won't get in. Then someone in health and safety asks about safety checks, which the manager in charge sheepishly mentions there are none. Officially at least. We have the sense to do them anyway. And so weekly safety checks are put in place. More paperwork. Oh, but I don't mind. Knowing this manager, he expects them done like all other safety checks in the factory. Unless it's going to hurt someone, sign to say it's okay anyway, and let him know so it can be fixed later. That way the machines don't get stopped constantly. But I realize the potential. Want me to do the checks? Sure, I'll do the checks perfectly. Spindle brake on the lathe is worn out? Fail, locked off. Nobody can use it until it's fixed. No emergency stop on the big drill? Fail, locked off. Nobody can use it. Plastic housing for the wiring on the mill is broken? Fail, locked off. Nobody can use it, etc., etc. Safe to say, he wasn't happy. But what can he do? It's all recorded on paper, and machines in the factory are stopping because they need parts making. Then came the big one. For a while, we've noticed machines getting damaged overnight. Night shift. But we weren't sure how. All the machines are on key locks, and we have the only keys. I came back after break one day and find a machine operator turning on a bench grinder to sharpen a knife. Cue some colorful words about what he thinks he's doing, why it's wrong, what I'll do to him if he does it again, and I ask how he turned it on. Turns out, someone from night shift told him the lock is old and worn out, and basically any similar key will work just fine, no matter what the bidding. So I go around to check, and sure enough, my locker key, the kind everyone in the factory has, turns on every machine. Some even worked with a screwdriver or just using the back of another key because there was no lock left inside. Fail, 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 fail. Everything fails. Whole workshop stopped. If this was a cartoon, the manager's ears would be leaking steam by now. He insists that this doesn't count as a fail because reasons. Then that these locks with keys that control power aren't keyed interlocks, and so I don't need to check them before finally just insisting it's okay and I should pass it because he says so. Sure, I said. Just put it in writing that it's you saying it's okay, not me. Sure backed down quick then. A day or so later, new locks turned up and were fitted, and the problem of overnight broken equipment went away. In the end, the manager got an earful from his bosses about production delays and another from health and safety when they found out these issues had been reported for a long time without anything done about them. In all, though, he got away pretty clean, besides the bruised ego. And that's how the workshop went from old, crappy, and dangerous to just old and slightly less crappy. Am I the jerk for siding with my stepdaughter's dad against my wife and exposing her lie? I, male 37, have been married to my wife, Regina, for 3 years. I have a 16-year-old stepdaughter named Becky. She's the loveliest and has the most generous heart. Her dad, Regina's ex-husband, Brandon, is a nice dude, and we get along just fine due to the fact that we see each other often, and also because Becky joins us for activities, which is always exciting. However, Regina just hates Brandon and always pushes me to have bigger involvement in Becky's life than him, which is illogical since he's her dad before I came along, but that doesn't mean I'm not doing my best to be a father figure to her. So, Becky's sweet 16th birthday was days ago. Brandon couldn't attend due to work, but he came over and gave Regina the gift he brought for Becky, which was an expensive bracelet, and asked her to hold on to it until Becky's birthday party to give it to her and say it was from her dad. Regina said okay, and he left. I was sitting nearby when they had this conversation. Regina then said she was planning on telling Becky that the bracelet her dad got her was from me. I said no, that's wrong and unfair to Brandon and Becky if she ever finds out that Regina lied about the bracelet being bought by her. She said she won't find out, but I firmly stated if she tried this, I'll shut her down and tell Becky the truth. She gave me an "I dare you" look and went about her day. The party came, and when Becky started opening gifts, Regina handed her the bracelet and told her that she bought it for her. I was shocked, as I didn't think she'd actually go through with her plan. Becky asked about her dad's gift, and I flat out told her he already sent her this bracelet and that her mom lied about buying it when it was from Brandon who bought it. My in-laws and Becky's friends were stunned. Becky asked Regina to confirm, but Regina lashed out at me and denied, till I showed them the receipt that came with the box, and it was under Brandon's name. Regina threw it, but I received it from the trash. Becky started arguing with Regina and left the room, crying, and the party was pretty much over. I literally got yelled at by Regina and her parents, calling me awful for causing drama and accusing Regina of theft and exposing her in front of Becky and her friends. Regina guilted me for not playing along and siding with Brandon against her. She told me to stop advocating for this guy like we were buddies. I said, poor guy did nothing wrong and didn't deserve to be alienated from his daughter. Becky hasn't spoken to Regina ever since and is waiting for her dad to come visit, and Regina isn't talking to me, but me and Becky are good. Am I the jerk? Did I mess up? Time to answer some questions and add more information. 1. Regina says my friendship with Brandon is weird and always seems to be looking for a reason to start an argument between me and him, but he's a good guy. 2. My sister-in-law told me this rivalry Regina has started when Brandon's now wife came into the picture, but most fights are between Regina and Brandon, not his wife. 3. The reason for Regina and Brandon's divorce is, like Regina said, infidelity on Brandon's part. Not sure about this, but it's what I've been told by her and the in-laws. Well, who do you think is the jerk? OP or Regina? Please let us know. Sounds like Regina needs some milk. Oh, I'll just hold on to it. Leave it, it's fine. Not sure how many of you folks have dogs, specifically male dogs, but for anyone who doesn't, pro tip, anything upright and stationary can and will be peed on. Fire hydrants? Of course. Signs? Absolutely. Plants? You bet. Innocent bystanders who haven't moved recently. Oops. I swear that's only happened twice. One fine day about 2 years or so ago, my pupper and I were at the dog park, doing dog park things. I throw the ball, he chases it down. Sometimes he'll bring it back, sometimes he'll leave it random places. Sometimes he'll bring it to a random stranger in the park and look at them like they're soft, until they figure out he wants them to throw the ball. The entire time this is happening, the whole park is getting all the emails replied to, one spritz at a time. This particular time, we had the entire dog park to ourselves for a little while, and these 2 ladies come in with super cute beagle puppies. One woman sensibly didn't bring a bag with her into the park. She had pockets. The other lady had a very big bag, and it looked like it cost about as much as a used car. This was the kind where she'll get scoliosis from carting the thing around, but it's large enough to fit actual care and appliances. So these 2 ladies are standing there talking to each other and monitoring their puppies, which is good. I've more or less dissolved into a puddle of aw, and my dog makes friends because at that time in his life, he'd still play with other dogs. Then I noticed the woman with the bag has put her bag on the ground, which is the thing you do when you've probably got a car battery crammed in there with all the other stuff ladies need to carry when they're not permitted pockets by the cruel gods of fashion. I noticed this and figure she's new. Once I've recollected myself from puddle form, I wait for an opportune moment and toss out an, "Excuse me, I hate to interrupt, but I just wanted to let you know that having your bag on the ground is a bad idea at the dog park. I've seen others hang it on the chain link fence," and I point at the fence that encloses the dog park. Not like there weren't over 9,000 available hangers for her bag. They both look at me in mild shock. Apparently, they hadn't noticed me gushing all over their cute puppies. Then they caught on to what I was saying, and the sensible lady looks at her friend and rolls her eyes, while the bag lady comes back with, "Oh, I'll just hold on to it," and picks up the bagzilla and slings it back over her shoulder. I shrug and buzz off, which was not a stated request, but was implied. Within 5 minutes, the doom bag is back on the ground, and I meander over because I see my dog go into a target lock mode. The stream is imminent. I attempt to give the woman a heads up and make it as far as, Bag lady looks at me and just snaps, "Leave it, it'll be fine." I give her a shrug and mosey over to somewhere clear of the blast radius. Not only does my dog have target lock, he's also parked himself uphill from the bag's impact crater. His leg lifts, and it's no spritz going into, not onto, her bag. It's a full stream. Realizing the most likely reaction from Bag Lady is a designer boot to somewhere, I shout, "Dexter, no!" at max volume and get the desired result. He looks at me and then doesn't escape and evades because he's a jerk like that sometimes. Both ladies look at me, then at the bag, and then at the dog. Sensible lady is fighting back tears, while Bag Lady works herself up into a frenzy. "How dare my filthy animal urinate on her valuable stuff? Don't I have him trained? Blah blah blah." She scruffs her puppy and holds him in her arms while maintaining a constant stream of castigation at me. It was honestly kind of impressive. Keeps shouting at me all the way over to her car, throws the puppy in, hope he's okay, and burns rubber leaving the park. Other lady bursts out laughing once the car is out of line of sight. She wheezes, "At least you tried." "How dare you stand near me?" I work as a self-checkout clerk. It's my job to stand near the registers and make sure people don't steal stuff, and make sure any issues they have with our point-of-sale system get smoothed over. Because of what's going on, I also sanitize these registers. Late last night, I was doing just that when two women came up to the register I was trying to clean. I moved off a bit until I noticed that the receipt wasn't printing after she put in her money and went over to investigate. It said she still had $1.14 left to pay. She asked me why it wasn't printing, and I told her that before moving away. I stayed nearby because I still needed to clean the register. "Are you staying here to make sure I don't steal $1.14? "No, I just wanted to sanitize the register because sometimes people are gross. Since it's what I have to do next, I just want to stick around." "You know we come through self-checkout to avoid people." I internally rolled my eyes. She paid and she left without her friend. Her friend had grabbed some food from the deli and decided she didn't want it. So I handed it off to another associate to return and went back to monitoring the area. A woman needed help scanning produce because it can be a pain in the butt on our system, stuff like that. I go back to the register I saw her at to get back my cleaner and paper towels and notice that there are still 2 items on the belt that haven't been scanned. "Oh, are you going to pay for those in a separate transaction, or do you not want them?" "Well, I was going to pay for them in a separate transaction, but since you've been harassing me all night, I don't want them anymore." "Ma'am, I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention. I was just trying to clean." "You've been acting like I was planning on stealing these. I'm going to call and make sure your manager hears about this tomorrow." She picked up the 2 things that were still on the belt and threw them at me. Not very hard, and they were light, but it surprised me. "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. If you want to talk with—" "Now you're trying to embarrass me in front of everyone to keep me from telling him what you did." "I'm just trying to understand what I did so that I don't do it again." She grabbed the things she did pay for and left me with the super glue and electrical tape. Am I the jerk for refusing to pay for my friend's EpiPen? I have a housemate, Jillian, who's 26, who is severely allergic to peanuts. There are 5 of us who rent a house together, and we all agreed to put a label in our food containers to help keep Jillian safe and avoid contamination. I have a mini fridge in my room where I store my drinks so that I don't have to go to the kitchen if I want a drink in the middle of the night. Well, last Friday, my Filipino girlfriend gave me an authentic Filipino dish for lunch at work. It's called kari-kari. It's an oxtail stew with a rich peanut sauce. It's in a glass container, and I saved some so that I could have it for dinner. When I got home, I put it in my mini fridge, but I forgot to eat it that night because we ordered pizza for dinner. Saturday, I went out with my girlfriend and got home at around 9 p.m. When I arrived, Jillian's girlfriend, Trish, confronted me, saying that I almost hurt Jillian. I didn't know what she was talking about. She went on saying how irresponsible of me it was to not label the food in my mini fridge. I asked one of our housemates what the heck happened, and he said Jillian had an allergic reaction to my stew because I didn't put a label on the container. I told them it's inside my personal mini fridge, and how dare they enter my room. Trish said that they were looking for beer when they saw my stew. She and another housemate ate it. Jillian only tasted it, and she had an anaphylactic shock where they had to use her EpiPen to stop the swelling. Trish then demanded that I need to pay for the EpiPen. I told them that is not going to happen. If anything, they should apologize to me for trespassing and stealing my food. They called me a jerk. She and 3 housemates said I nearly cost Jillian her life, and the least I could do is apologize and pay for the EpiPen. Am I the jerk? Edit for more info. Jillian was taken to the hospital. No, I never gave anyone any permission to enter my room. They were drinking that time and were looking for more beer. They ate the dish with some rice that they found on top of the mini fridge. I think Jillian ate some rice that had sauce on it. I didn't get to ask the details of what exactly happened. Edit, update. So I visited Jillian in the hospital today, and she apologized to me for what happened. It was an accident. She said she didn't eat my kari-kari, but took some rice. She didn't realize that some sauce got on the rice bowl, so there was clearly a cross-contamination. It wasn't her who went in my room, it was Trish and another housemate, Ian. I will be charging them for the stolen beer and food. I will definitely buy a lock after this incident. Thank you all for your advice, judgment, and awards. Am I the jerk for refusing to talk to my son and husband until they apologize to my mother-in-law? My mother-in-law, Sandra, who's 68, is a weird woman. She refers to herself as that. She has random outbursts, hyperfixations, tics, and struggles immensely with social cues. She hasn't been diagnosed with anything, so I won't speculate. When I first met my husband's family, I noticed that all of them, except my husband, made fun of Sandra and her quirks. For example, we were having dinner one night, and my mother-in-law couldn't stop talking about flowers. She loves plants and nature and is super knowledgeable about it. My sister-in-law made a comment making fun of her, and everybody at the table laughed about it. Sandra got extremely embarrassed and didn't talk for the rest of the night. This kind of behavior is normal in the family, and I despise it. I get so angry whenever someone makes fun of Sandra because she's just such a kind, lovely woman that I just can't fathom why they do that. I've had a lot of conversations about this with my husband and even fights when he laughs about the jokes. We have a son who's 15 named Alex, and my biggest fear is becoming true. Alex has started to pick up the behavior around him and has been laughing at Sandra. I've talked to him about why laughing at her is bullying, but that behavior is inappropriate, etc. But Alex doesn't seem to care. 2 weeks ago, we went to see Sandra. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law were there along with their families. Sandra looked very happy. While catching up, she randomly started clapping, one of the tics that appears when she's excited. My brother-in-law made a comment poking fun at her, and the whole family laughed, including my husband and Alex. Sandra got teary-eyed and had to excuse herself to the bathroom. I've never been more furious. While on our way home, I chewed my husband and son out and told them to not speak to me until they apologized to Sandra. I told them that I don't want to hear a single word directed to me until they reflect on how their actions are hurtful and disgusting. 2 weeks have passed and I haven't spoken to them, not a single word, because they have made 0 attempts of apologizing to Sandra. My husband is telling me that I'm being petty and hurting Alex. He is also mad at me for valuing my relationship with Sandra more than my relationship with them. In my mind, I'm not doing that, but husband says that I am being the jerk. Edit. Just wanted to say that I am stopping the silent treatment towards my son. I now realize that this is manipulative and bad parenting on my behalf. I will be taking Alex to have lunch with me without his dad, so we can have a serious conversation about why his behavior is disappointing. Mini update. Just returned from having lunch with my son. and probably having a divorce. Entitled Mom thinks I earn for her useless sons. So I have a very crappy relationship with my family. They only contact me when they need something. Money. I've been through therapy and learned how to say no to people. Honestly, I still struggle. But I also hate when people try to manipulate me. I have several siblings, but 2 of my brothers are apples of my mother's eyes. They are useless. Like, barely earn anything, never have savings. Always needed support from my father, but my father has passed, so my mother took the job of sponsoring my bros. Mind you, these both bros have 3 to 4 kids each. I'm child-free and I earn good. I've worked my butt off to be where I am. Without any support of family, and in fact, due to the mistreatment of my family, I am where I am today. I usually don't mind helping sick bro, sick kids, etc. Every now and then I send 100 to 200 euros and am done for a few months. I recently went on vacation, 3 countries, 15 days, so I did write my mother about my whereabouts. She kept asking me about how much hotel costs and flights, etc. Me being dumb, I just told her rough costs. So yesterday I arrived back and I get a call from her. I was sleeping, so I missed it. I got up to another call early today, and that's when I knew something was coming up. So here's the conversation after general chit-chat. Entitled Mom. Hey Ishkabaz, I see you got hair and nails done. How much was it? Me, confused. Around 150 euros. What's up? You want to color your hair? No. Actually, your younger bro is going to get operated on. He needs money to pay bills, kids' schools, for food, etc. Me. Okay, get well soon to him. Entitled Mom. I want you to send him some money so he can afford things for 2 months. Me. I'm sorry, what? Why do I have to pay for him? Because Ishbaz, you travel around the world. You spend so much on your hair and nails. You should take care of your siblings. Me. No, I should not pay for them. I earn for myself and am entitled to do whatever with my money. Shame on you. Your elder brother, only rich bro, helped him. You should also participate. Me. Wow, Mono actually paid for him? Why are you asking me to pay then? Because it's not enough for their standard of living. You should pay so he doesn't worry. I have nothing to help. Sorry. I would never talk to you. Sure, bye. And I hang up. It sucks, but I'm glad I'll be at peace for a few days. I'm also proud of setting up boundaries. Edit. Oh, and this is the same mother who shamed me for asking my right of inheritance after passing of my father. My bros live in big family house my father built, and my mother has refused any kind of share to us sisters because, where would my sons live? Since we daughters are well off, we don't have any right of father's property. But yet, we have duty to feed these men child and their offspring. Forget that. Thanks everyone for the reply. I'll try to go no contact with her. Am I the jerk for no longer allowing my sister to work in my daycare after what she did? Hi, I'm a 32-year-old widow. Have been for 3 years. I struggled a lot financially. I didn't get help from my family because they claim they can't, so I decided to start a home daycare. It's been open for 7 months now. My friend was able to get me more clients via Facebook. Thank goodness my business is growing and I've made quite a lot of friends who are moms and also established good reputation since my daycare has been recommended. My sister, 26, is unemployed, didn't find a job yet and had rent to pay for her and her boyfriend. My parents suggested I let her come work with me at my daycare and accepted since she has experience in the past. I agreed to let her come and earn her living. She got along with the other workers and things were going fine, until she came to me asking about a specific kid that comes to our daycare. He's 4, very well behaved for his age. I was confused after she complained about him. She said she saw his dad come over to pick him up and didn't feel comfortable when she saw him because he's a police officer, and she had an unpleasant incident with the police because of something her boyfriend did that she needed therapy for and struggled a lot from. She wanted me to let the kid go and tell the parent to look for another daycare. He usually arrives at 3 p.m. to pick the kid up. From what I understand, his wife's sick. I refused. I've no good reason to let the kid go. My sister refused to drop it and started being mean to the dad. It was unprofessional of her. I told her she either be respectful or I won't have her work with me anymore. 2 days ago, she sent an email to the dad telling him we won't be welcoming his kid at the daycare anymore. He came to talk to me and I was livid when I saw the email. He asked why and talked about his kid wanting to stay because he's friends with other kids. Talked about not being able to find a daycare closer than ours. I lashed out at my sister and I told her she's no longer able to work at the daycare because of her behavior. We got into an argument and she left after saying I was being unsupportive and inconsiderate. My parents called me saying I shouldn't have kicked out my sister and I'm now causing her to lose her apartment. They argued I have no regard for my sister's trauma and I should have let the kid go and supported her because she's my sister. Everyone shamed me and claimed I had messed up priorities. I felt I was in the wrong for letting her struggle now without a job, but I have no reason to let go of the kid as well. He wears a uniform. My aunt suggested that I ask him to get someone else to come and pick up his kid, or at least I let her leave before 3 p.m. and arrive a bit late in the morning, but others would notice the difference in treatment at the daycare. I understand that there are parents struggling, and I do all I can to help out and be supportive. Yes, she's my younger sister, but treating people like that was unprofessional of her. One thing to clarify, my sister's boyfriend is in no contact with my family due to issues. However, they said they want to support my sister and be in contact with her and support her, although they don't have a relationship with her boyfriend. That's why they keep pressuring me to help and support her. Well, who do you agree with, OP or her sister? Please let us know. When someone goes behind your back and puts your business at risk, you fire them. That sister's a liability waiting to happen. Click this button to join as a channel member and we'll give you a shout out in our next video. Or come watch this video next, the one that just popped up on the screen.